Yes, hello?
Please hold for the Secretary of Defense.
Mr. Baskin, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I'll get right to it, Mr. Baskin. Your country needs you. The enemy's building up forces all around the globe, and we need to defend before it's too late.
Yeah, I read the newspaper, but why are you telling me this? I am a civilian after all.
We have a plan, and you've been volunteered.
Bob. It had to be Bob.
He said you'd know exactly who suggested you. He's one of NASA's most brilliant minds, and yet he says you're the only person who could pull this off.
Pull what off exactly, Mr. Secretary?
We have a rocket that's undetectable to the enemy. Our plan was to send a small team to space to establish a foothold.
And you want me on that team?
Well, the rocket was to be very, very small to elude their sensors.
Okay, I understand. How big is the team?
The team is you.
"100 days in space. Solo, isolated with no way home unless I can manage to build it. I'll be playing through the modpack Astroblock, available on CurseForge, and as always, lightly role-playing as our hero, Percy Baskin." Wait, who's that? Look, if you don't know, all my 100 Days videos occupy the same universe, the Fixxitt412. So make sure to check out the entire playlist to know the whole story. If you enjoy the video, please give it the old thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of the next installments of this epic tale, or my upcoming new series from Bob's homeworld of Tovalin. Okay, enough of all that, let's catch up to Percy. I think his rocket should just be touching down in the asteroid belt. I arrived in the asteroid belt with essentially no resources at all. Speed and stealth was the key in getting me up here without the enemy noticing, so the ship had to be small and light. But that being the case, I am here with essentially nothing. No supplies and no food. NASA didn't leave me totally on my own though. Bob and his friends wrote a bit of a guidebook I can follow. The first thing I had to do was check over my equipment and make sure I am all good. I have some oxygen and a tree on board to make some more. I can cut it down, and as long as it drops at least one sapling to regrow it, oxygen should be okay. The book did tell me I need to go to a nearby asteroid to get some materials to make an anti-radiation potion. I took a short, hair-raising trip outside my space station, and yeah, it was pretty scary. One misstep and I will fall through the void forever. That's fun. I learned today that I can make more dirt by combining moon rock and cobblestone. That is really convenient. Now with that, I'm able to plant more trees and harvest more wood faster. That is a good thing. I made a couple quick cobblestone slab furnaces and started cooking up some charcoal. That is going to be my power source for the foreseeable future. Then when I'm back to harvest more trees for the day. Yeah, oak logs and cobblestone furnaces. Really high-tech stuff. I got a grappling hook, and it's pretty cool. With this, it's a little bit less scary, though it's still fairly terrifying to jump into the void, because now, at least as long as I have some string on me, I can actually grapple onto asteroids. Yeah, pretty sweet. My first machine is called a compressor. I can turn cobblestone, which I get from asteroid rock, into gravel, gravel into sand, and sand into dust. What I really need is I need flint, and to get flint, you have to combine 3 gravel in a crafting table, and yeah, you'll get flint. So that's pretty good, because what I really need is I need a sieve to sieve dust. Sieve? Is it sieve dust? No, it's sieve dust. Who knows, maybe I can make a cobblestone generator here, and then it shouldn't be too bad. But for right now, the old by-hand system, it will suit me just fine. I began getting some of the ores that I'm going to need to survive out here. It involves a complicated process of compressing cobble the whole way to dust and then sieving it. I think I can automate this soon, but not yet. It seems I can get some of the precious ores like lapis, silicon, diamonds from this dust, but I can't actually get iron and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm going to have to go mining asteroids to actually get sort of the heavy-duty ores. Okay, well, I'll get my grapple and get going. Also, fun fact, seems like water isn't renewable here in space, so I'm going to have to keep shearing trees or saplings or something to just keep on getting water. That's okay. The main thing that I want to do right away, though, is start to grow some food. I do actually like to eat, and I have 1 apple to my name, so yeah, we need to get growing some crops here. Luckily from sieving dirt, it's not too hard to get my hands on seeds. Yeah, so we'll get it growing, and everything should be just fine. I spent the entire day sieving dust and then making more dust and then sieving more dust. Yeah, it's a long process, but I'm really happy to be getting the ores I need to start processing. It's only been 5 days and I'm in a good place. Not exactly energy independent here, but I believe if I spend a small bit of time cutting down some more trees per day, I should be able to power my entire station with just charcoal. That's pretty good, and obviously I will automate that in time. The book I got from NASA seems to be divided into missions within greater chapters, and each chapter seems to have kind of a goal. So I'm working through it in order, and I am just about done with the final quest in chapter 1 of the book. It's basically teaching me how to get all the small things I need with the compressor. The compressor is pretty amazing. Like to get nether wart, I can just combine blaze powder and seeds. So it's not really too bad. It's a little bit time consuming. I don't know if it's automatable, but for right now, that's okay. We can get nether wart, clay, netherrack. All that stuff is just at my fingertips with the compressor. Pretty sweet. I need some copper. And yeah, I don't have any copper. I believe I can get it from an asteroid, so I spent the whole day floating out in the void and farming asteroids. The problem is my picks don't last very long, and it takes quite a bit to come back and get more. Luckily, if I find a good ore asteroid, it's actually a pretty plentiful bounty, but yeah, I'm still worried about running out of iron, and yeah, well, I got aluminum and tin, but still no copper for the whole day. It's been 7 days. It's been a week that I've spent here on the space station, just totally by myself, totally without any communication, anything. I miss my son a great deal. I hope he's okay. I think of him a lot, in particular in these slow moments whenever I'm out in an asteroid or if I'm on the charge pad waiting for my tools to get recharged. I'm awfully busy with all the things I have to do here just to survive, but yeah, I miss little Bob. I hope he's okay. I finished all the book's quests from chapter 1, except for the very final one where I need lava. I do feel the ability to produce lava will be quite a game changer for me, but to get that, I need to dot some I's and cross some T's. I'm almost out of wood and thus almost out of charcoal, so I need to spend the rest of the day harvesting that. So yeah, real exciting day. Real exciting day chopping down some trees in space on my space station. I made a chisel and began my space station expansion. This is going to be great. It's so cramped here, and, well, unfortunately, I have to use cobblestone, which doesn't exactly scream epic space station, but whatever, it's fine. I can always replace blocks later, and look, I don't want to live here for the rest of my life. This is just preparing it for future astronauts to be able to live and thrive here. So, yeah, chiseled cobblestone is just fine. My space station currently doesn't have an atmosphere, so I learned something, kind of the awkward and hard way, is torches don't work. Of course they don't work. There's not oxygen in my room. That's why I have to wear my spacesuit every single minute of every day. So I can make glowstone torches, which do provide a little bit of heat and will eventually melt down this cobblestone for lava. So that's a good thing. I almost had a terrible disaster today. My oxygen almost ran out. I wasn't paying attention to it, and all of a sudden started feeling very, very tired and taking some damage. Yeah, I hurried over, and luckily I had enough in me to refill one. But yeah, it was pretty close. If I wasn't paying attention, or if I was sleeping or something, I think I'd be dead. Another fun fact of living in space is I'm taking on a decent bit of radiation now. What I was working on before my oxygen almost killed me, it was a brewing station where I can actually make some anti-rad potions. It should help. I expect that NASA knows what they're talking about here, so hopefully it will not just help, but it will actually keep me safe. I think each potion knocks down my total radiation by 50%, so that's a good thing. And actually, the only thing it takes to make is just charcoal and water bottles, and these are two things that I actually have, so not too bad, actually. I spent the rest of the evening. Is it evening? I don't know. I don't know. The sun doesn't move out here. I spent the rest of the time before I went to bed making a 9x9 meter crop field, and this is going to be great. I'm going to fill it up with basically potatoes for right now, wheat and everything else I have, but my goal is a big potato farm. Hey, Matt Damon did it and kept him alive on Mars for like 2 years. I think it should work just fine for me. All right, then, let's talk automation a little bit. I'd like to automate my lava production, and to do that, all I need to make is a simple hopper. And to do that, I need to make something called compressed steel. Seems like the hopper recipe isn't the same as it is on Earth, but that's okay. It's actually not too bad. It's a couple iron ingots beside each other, and that makes compressed iron. And then after that, I add some charcoal, and boom, I get compressed steel. This compactor machine is really, really cool. I made my hopper and I put it over the crucible, tossed in 5 stacks of cobblestone, and yeah, okay. It's not exactly automation dream, but you know what? This is going to be okay. We are going to get a lot of lava from that cobblestone. And cobblestone is not free, but pretty darn close. Well, I really need copper now. I mentioned it a few days ago, but I haven't had any luck finding it, so I am just going to have to go. I'm just going to have to go out into the void, into the asteroids, and just dig until I do. I made a whole bunch of pickaxes, and I'm headed out. Good luck, me. I found some copper late in the day, and with that copper I made 2 machines that are really going to help me out. I made a real coal generator, which is effectively going to double my power, and this is huge. I made an electric compressor. This machine is absolutely clutch. First, it takes RF, which means it only uses as much energy as what it needs to complete an operation, and there's not waste. But this is the big one. It doubles my recipes as well as works faster. This thing is awesome and clutch and the most important machine that I could ever build on the space station. Hooray for me. There's something very simple, and I'm very, very annoyed at myself for not thinking of it earlier. You know how I keep chopping down all those trees? Why don't I automate that? I can make bonsai trees. These bonsai trees are amazing, and now that I have a decent supply of iron from some of those asteroids I mined, I can actually make some hoppers. 2, I am never going to need to harvest wood again. In addition, I should get some leaves for making more water, some saplings to replant, and most importantly, apples to eat. My potato farm isn't exactly cranking out the crops yet. I spent all of day 15 working on my farm and trying to plant more and more. But then something happened. I had a visitor. Apparently, space zombies are a thing. Yeah, thanks, NASA. You could have mentioned that. This space zombie, not only did he try to kill me and I assume eat my brains, but also he's wearing an oxygen tank and a helmet. Yeah, I have a lot of questions about this. I need to figure out some way to call home. Maybe tonight after work, I'm going to sit down and start to work on some sort of laser relay communication device so I can go and call my good friends at NASA and express to them my concerns about, I don't know, the space zombies. After messing with my power situation a good bit here on day 16, I noticed something that is very concerning. My machines are always draining my RF regardless of if they're working or not. That's bad. I think it's time to work hard on actually building out some space so I have room. Building down in this void is actually pretty challenging, but I'll work something out. I just need more space. I need a basement and some way to wire my machines together. Something that's very annoying is all of these kind of Galacticraft machines that I have here only accept power from the left side. That is unbelievably annoying for laying out a base. Oh, jeez, I mean, come on, man. Really? Okay. All right, that's okay. We'll get it worked out. More major base building again. I expanded the room off my main room in order to actually have enough room to set up my power situation. I poured some water and was able to sort of navigate the low gravity to go down a little bit, so I have a little bit of a basement to just wire things. It's going to be good. It doesn't look extremely pretty, but again, I'm working with chiseled cobblestone here. It's really the best I can do. Eventually, maybe if I get some sort of really renewable iron situation, I'd love to use something like factory blocks or iron blocks or something, but look, you work with what you got. It's kind of a confusing day. My system here might be a little bit flawed. I may have to rework my concept eventually here, but right now I'm just using regular old hoppers to go into my generators, and that's coming from electric furnaces. The electric furnaces are pulling down from hoppers, which are pulling all the things that can come from a bonsai hopper. Now, they can only pull oak logs, but the problem is the actual hoppers will pull all four things, including apples, sticks, and saplings. What that means is eventually the hopper will be plugged with all of that stuff and no room for more logs in order to go into the furnace and become charcoal. Eventually we'll figure out a way to automate it, but for right now I'm just going to have to sort of manually click on things. That's all right. We'll get it worked out. You ever hit something just in time? Like you buy insurance just before an accident? I nailed this. I was just about out of iron and about to smelt another stack of my precious iron ore for 1 ore to 1 ingot ratio when I saw something in the NASA book about an electric arc furnace. It turns out not only is it super fast, but it will double my ores. This is huge. Why didn't I read ahead in my book? Okay, whatever. The point is now I have ore doubling and I am very, very excited. This is just awesome. My laser communication device is just about ready. I think if everything goes right, I should be able to actually call home tomorrow. Now, I'm very much looking forward to this. Hello? Is there a Bob there?
Wait, hold on a minute. Hello? Who's this?
Percy Baskin?
What?
Calling for Bob?
Bob? Who's Bob? There's no Bob here. Hold on a minute. Bob, I'll be right with you. Come on. Don't eat that. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Who's this? You know, it doesn't matter. There's no Bob here. I'm busy. Bob, I'm coming. Come on, man. Bob, don't eat that. That's my pizza.
Well, that didn't seem quite right. Let's try this again. Hello? Bob. You old son of a Percy. So they got you up there, huh? They said my country needed me. Not just our country, Percy. The very world. How much can we say here? Anything. This line is totally secure. Okay, well, what do you mean the world? Without the space base, the Illuminati would have nothing to hold them back from their goal of sending us back to the Middle Ages. Yes. Bob, we've gone round and round about this. I've never bought completely into your theories here, and the Secretary of Defense just called, and he didn't mention the Illuminati. Yes, I'm not sure he completely buys into my theories either, but trust me, I'm convinced. Oh, All right, we'll see. How goes the space station? It's going okay. It's a slow grind at first, trying to get ores from moon dust and all that, but I hope to have some automation going soon. That's good. Solid progress. Hey, by the way, I'm not the only one up here. How do you mean? I just had to fight off a freaking zombie attack in space, Bob. Zombies? Huh. Percy, I have to go check on something. Contact me when you can. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always thought jetpacks were awesome. I really thought that that's how people would travel in the future, and it turns out that the only thing they're really good for is entering football stadiums carrying a big flag. But look, it's still awesome. I used to read the Tales of Suspense comic books, and everyone always had jetpacks in those. Yeah, it's really cool. I think I want one, and I think it'll really help save me from falling to my death in these asteroids. I made something called a plastic jetpack. Yeah, sounds really secure, right? I took a little test flight over by an asteroid though, and it worked just fine. But while I was digging, I noticed my radiation gauge is extremely high. I have not been paying attention to it. So I hurried back and made 3 potions of rad away, and we're all good again. Seriously, I really need to keep an eye on that. I need to make a machine called a magma crucible. With it, I think you can make some really cool things out of melting down solids and liquids. On top of that, it's the next thing listed in the NASA book, so I do want to continue on the recommended sort of quest line here. However, it requires gold, and yeah, I don't have gold. I think it does spawn within these asteroids out here, but I'm not sure, and I don't really know how to find out that information, so yeah, I gotta go find some gold. I spent most of the next day looking for it, and finally I hit pay dirt, or, well, pay gold, I suppose. This is good. I got a lot of it. The magma crucible will be mine. I ran into another small snag. To make this magma crucible, I need tin, and as far as I can tell, there is no tin in the asteroid belt. I'm honestly not sure what to do about this. I need to consult the book, but I won't be in laser range to call Bob for another 15 days, so I am really on my own. I made one more trip out to the asteroids looking for tin and no luck, but what I did discover is I am chewing through my iron reserves very quickly by digging these with iron pickaxes. I need something better. So I made something called a flux bore. It's really cool. It's a drill that uses RF for energy instead of durability and braking. It's great. The problem is it's only level 1, and a level 2 requires something called Invar, which I don't believe I have the means to make. Hooray? Yeah, it took me 2 days, basically, of mining asteroids, but I finally got it. I got some tin. It is definitely in an asteroid. Yeah, well, look. Okay, so I know now asteroids can provide basically everything I need to build a decent life here. There are probably some things that I'm going to need to travel to other places to get, but for right now, I am very happy. Let me just tell you, building anything at all in this tiny space station is a real pain in the butt. Even though I have most of the materials that I need just to make the magma crucible, it took me almost a whole day. To do the next step, I'm going to need a machine called a pulverizer. It shouldn't be too hard. I would really kill to have some sort of computer storage. It'd be really great, but I feel like that is a very long way off for me. Oh yes, I made a pulverizer and we are rolling. Now I need to harvest a ton of coal and charcoal for the next part of my plan, but this is great. I'm growing more and more concerned with my overall power production. However, I am always out of charcoal. That's not great. So I need to ramp up my bonsai tree farms. But yeah, sorting is still an issue. I don't really know how to get around it, to be honest. I had to make another machine that I've never even heard of. It's called a fractioning still. I think it basically changes one liquid to another, or maybe it does something else. I don't really know here. I think NASA is guiding me towards rocket fuel, which will be great if I ever want to leave this place. But for now, yeah, this is a little bit confusing. It's a lot confusing. It's actually a whole lot of confusing. On day 30, I began putting a lot of charcoal dust in the crucible to get liquefied coal. So pulverizer, crucible, this should be okay. This isn't the absolute smoothest automation ever. I don't know. NASA says to do it, so I'm doing it. I don't really know what for, but there's a lot of sitting around waiting. This stuff takes a long time to sort of liquefy. I've had a lot of time to think about my life back on Earth, and yeah, I miss my boy, and I have a lot of regrets, you know. I'm going to change things whenever we get home. We're going to spend a lot more time together. I'm going to spend a lot more time out in the backyard throwing the ball around and look up from my data pad more and just enjoy him. He's at a fun age, and he's inquisitive, and he's really smart, and I feel like I'm missing out. When I get home, I'm not going to miss out anymore. I love that little dude. I did it. I made all the machines I need to finish the chapter and ended up in refined fuel. This is really good. I may actually be able to leave the asteroid belt now. I mean, not now. I have a lot more to do still in this space station, but the thought of not being totally stuck here, that's a good one. I've been so amazingly busy, I haven't really had the chance to look at my situation. I'm here in the void of space, many, many thousands of miles away from Earth, with absolutely no way home. If I run into trouble or my power runs out, I am stuck. I have no one who can help me. Yeah, this is why they tell you not to look down when you're high up on a ladder. Your brain can kind of trick yourself into forgetting how alone you are up there until you look down and see the reality. I need to think on other things. I decided today I need to clear my head, so I took a little trip. I headed out to the west looking for any new asteroids or whatever, and I found something. It was a giant structure. I have no idea what it could have been, but, well, it looks like it's seen better times. I need to ask Bob about this. I didn't know that other countries had been out here setting up bases in the asteroid belt, but this looks rather old. Like, perhaps very, very old. That's odd. I have found several items that will be useful in the future, grabbed them, and headed home. There were a whole bunch of monsters hanging out in this asteroid. I managed to kill them, but, yeah, I'm not strong in the weapons department here, so I would like to just get out while I'm still alive. So it turns out that maybe being a rocket scientist is actually kind of a big deal. Putting together a rocket all by myself here has about 1 billion parts. It's a fun little project, but, you know, I'd like to get it finished, because as soon as this is finished, I could technically leave here, and that is a very, very positive thought. I think the space station is getting to a good place. It's not done yet or anything, but I think it's getting to a good place that could support astronauts when they do show up here eventually. So, yeah, this is good. Well, I did it. It took me 34 days, over a month of living here all by myself, but I managed to make a Tier 1 rocket. Pretty amazing. I'm not sure exactly if I have enough fuel or even really truly how to get the fuel inside the rocket yet. There's still a bit of a learning curve here, but I feel really, really good and really accomplished about building a freaking rocket from a space station. Awesome. But before I even think about leaving, I have a few more things I need to do. Firstly, I want to have enough fuel to take off and come back, which means I have to take off twice. Secondly, I want to make sure I have a way to gently touch down on the ground when I get there. Hey, it'd be great not to die. And thirdly, I need a way to defend myself when I get there, wherever there actually turns out to be. Look, we'll heat each one individually. First though, fuel. I spent the rest of the day grinding up charcoal and putting it into a crucible to make liquid coal. I really, really wish I had this more automated. This fuel situation is very difficult to figure out. I'm not really sure what to do actually, and the book isn't that much guidance help either. Boy, it'd be great to have Google. Regardless, I am not leaving until at least day 40, so I can talk to Bob again first and tell him what my plan is. I'm not leaving this station without anyone on Earth knowing what is going on. This is actually a little bit more grueling than I thought, and yeah, I thought this was going to be pretty grueling. To get refined fuel, it turns out I have to put the naphtha that I get from pulverized charcoal back in the fraction still a second time. That's okay, except that each time it goes in, I lose 50% of the initial yield. That's a bit of a pain, so it takes 80 charcoal to make one bucket after both refinements. That's still okay, it's cheap in the end and renewable, and I should have a full rocket soon, but yeah, it's a little time consuming. Next time I do this, I'm going to ramp up the production quite a bit. The grind is real. Oh, it's very real. Yeah. I had to fight off a couple more space zombies earlier in the day. I'm a little concerned. So far, they've mostly left me alone, but I'm not sure it will always be that way. And also, it's not easy to fight melee in low gravity. I don't really have any sort of ranged weapon, or any weapon, to be honest. So, yeah, if a skeleton were to attack me, for example, it would just shoot me and I would just keep bounding away. It's not so fun. So, I made a phaser today. It's freaking awesome. Look, I grew up on a lot of Star Trek when I was a kid. I think I've watched every episode of Star Trek ever. And to have a phaser in the real world where I can shoot creepers and endermen and skeletons and everything, yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's really cool.
Hi, Percy.
Bob, how are things?
It's good. We are working on plans for Phase 2 of exploration.
Phase 2? I'm just over a month here.
I know, but these things take a long time in the planning stages.
What did you find out about my undead friends up here?
Best we can tell is the Illuminati compound got hit with something. They blew our long-range satellites a long while back, so honestly, it's mostly educated guessing.
What are you talking about? There's an enemy compound up here?
Well, it seems there was a compound. We don't know exactly what they were doing, but I always suspected it was some sort of scientific research they weren't comfortable doing on Earth.
So with it getting destroyed, all their monsters are out and about.
It would seem so. I have a couple calls into friends who are more knowledgeable about the Illuminati theory. I'll check in with them and I'll get back to you. Take care.
I spent the next 2 days just sieving all the dust I could while I waited for my charcoal and my coal and my fuel and all that kind of stuff to gather. It takes a long time, but that's okay. I got a lot of resources from sieving all this stuff, so we are moving forward in a positive direction. And now, on day 3 of really working on this, my rocket is officially fueled. We are up to over 60%, which according to the book is sort of out of the danger zone. Yeah, I finally did it. I have a fueled rocket. I can leave any moment I want to now. Now, where do I go? Do I go home? The only problem with leaving now, look, I feel like the space station is at a good place. There's a lot of technology here. There's food, there's oxygen, there's a source of power. I think if we send up more astronauts, they should be able to seamlessly fit right in here. The problem is, once I leave, it is just going to be an empty, vacant shell, and who knows what could happen to it. We need some sort of overseer. But there's something I've been thinking about for a long time. Something I've been working on as a side project is an AI that's loosely based on myself that can look after the station and prepare for more people if the need ever arises, put out fires, take care of emergencies, whatever. This should take me probably about a week to get a full up-to-date brain scan and input it into the computer system. I think I can do this. It's kind of new technology, but it's something I've had in the back of my mind for a very long time. Yeah, I think I can basically create another copy of myself. I will need a spacesuit if I'm about to journey all the way back to Earth. Come on. Of course I need a spacesuit. The radiation is crazy and, well, I have one problem. I'm almost out of aluminum. I think I have enough to finish this up, but I'm going to want to take some aluminum back with me. So after I finish making my spacesuit here, I am going to go out and mine up some more aluminum just for the journey, just in case. I dug through a few asteroids late last night and came up totally empty. Several asteroids have nothing but asteroid rock on the inside. That's really annoying. So I made something that's called a scanner today, and the scanner, I can basically just point at an asteroid and it will tell me if there's precious materials inside. That's pretty great. It's going to save me a lot of time and save me a lot of RF recharging from my flux bore. I've been spending so much time thinking about what I'm doing and how I'm going to get home, I haven't really thought too much about what it's going to be like to be home. I can't wait to see little Bob. I just can't wait. I can't wait to give him the longest hug ever. And yeah, things are going to change when I get back. We're going to be a family again, and I'm never going to leave him again. I made the scanner, but for it to actually work, I need something called a module, and to make that, I need coal. Not charcoal. That doesn't work for the recipe. I need actual coal. Fortunately, it didn't take very long, and I found actually a few asteroids with coal, so I have a nice little reserve. I'm going to want some power when I arrive to Earth. I don't know exactly where I'm going to land. There's no way to be that precise in my direction, so I may need to survive for a few days until NASA can come and find me. I made 2 flux capacitors, which are basically RF batteries that will recharge my phaser and my drill as it's just in my inventory. This is going to be really great for moving on my feet, especially until I can establish some sort of little base to wait out my time. It's my last day here. I feel like the station should be in a place where it can be self-sustainable, especially with an AI in charge of it. It's time for me to go home. I spent the day gathering up my things and leaving plenty here for future astronauts to come here and live. But for me, mission accomplished. I did what I was supposed to do. Tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to put the finishing touches on my AI and put him in charge of the system. Hello?
Hello?
That doesn't sound quite right.
That doesn't sound quite right.
That's a little better.
That's a little better.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. AI active. All systems nominal. Please input name.
Let's call you the Heuristically Programmed Algorithmic Computer Beta 9.8343, or HAL 9000 will be fine.
HAL online.
Bob, I think I'm done here. I'm about ready to blast off.
Good, my friend. Give me a rundown.
We have automated power, mostly automated fuel production, and the ability to build more rockets on command.
That's fantastic. Load up your rocket and come on home. I'm sure little Bobby misses you like crazy.
One last thing. Once I land, how long until I can be picked up by NASA?
That's a tough one. It depends where you land. The emergency beacon can't turn on until you actually make landfall. If you land in our territory, maybe only a few hours.
And if I land behind enemy lines?
I don't know. You may need to survive on your own for a little while.
Alright, well, I'm ready. Let's do it. I arrived safely on Earth, and it's not what I expected. Spiders, skeletons, all the monsters from the asteroids were here. I found a building that looked abandoned and walked in, and was attacked by some sort of robot. Yeah, this is bad. I hurried out of that building and found one that seemed unoccupied, and I climbed up to the roof. Where the hell am I? I started by digging down. I have no idea what's up with this place. Maybe it's an Illuminati base? Maybe they're working on an experiment that went wrong. Either way, I don't know when they'll be coming back in force, so I need to have a decent hiding place. I'm thinking I'll dig a basement under one of these big buildings and hide there while I wait for Bob and NASA to come and rescue me. In the meantime, there are a few ores that I was unable to find in the asteroid belt that I could really use to make some new machines here, so yeah, mining could be a really good use of my time. I couldn't sleep last night. I think the reality is starting to set in. I landed behind enemy lines. There's certainly no doubt in my mind about that. How long am I going to be here? Days? Weeks? Months? If I decide to just run and just try to get away from here, how would NASA ever find me? The only thing I can do is stay near my transponder and hope that they figure out a way to get back here and rescue me. This isn't good. I ran stairs all the way down to my mine, and I did find some precious ores, including some diamonds even, so that's good. So at least help for a short return trip back up to my storage room. I'm kind of annoyed at myself, to be honest here. I should have brought more of my machines with me. I thought leaving them up there for the next crew would be a good idea, but, well, now here I am stuck in the basement of an Illuminati building, and yeah, I have to make things I already made once. I made a new circuit fabricator and a new arc furnace to double any ores I find here. With a little bit of coal I found under my building, I have the beginnings of power as well. It's a strong start, but yeah, it didn't have to be quite this hard. I spent the day mining again. I have some plans for some new tech that while I wait here, but one of the ores I need is actually called tritanium. It can be found around Y11, so I'm headed down and I mined 3 pickaxes worth of stone and ores, but very, very little of the tritanium that I actually need, so I'll probably have to head back again. If I'm going to be here for a while, some sustainable food options would be good. Even just apples, honestly. Let's start with oak, wood, and apples and go from there. To get a decent amount of oak, apples, and then charcoal after that for power, I'm going to need a whole bunch of bonsai trees. It shouldn't be too terrible. I just have to find a river and go to town on some clay. Yeah, it's nice that I can just find it instead of have to make everything. That's cool. Working out a better power system is actually kind of interesting. I'd like to completely rely on charcoal since it's essentially free with these bonsai hoppers, but that being said, I'm going to need to ramp it up considerably from what I had on the space station. I made 12 bonsai hoppers and chests to go with them. I should be good for a while. I'm not even sure really if that's going to be enough, but I need to get a couple generators running and see. Also, I found a dog. He took to me right away and, well, we became friends. It's pretty cool. I'm going to have to make sure NASA knows that they need to rescue me and the dog. I need to get a good name for this guy. What's a good name? I spent yet another day down in my mines looking for tritanium ore. Boy, oh boy, I am coming up empty on this. All went great for a while until I got completely lost in my caves. These caves are really cool, but not so much when I'm lost and surrounded by monsters with no way out and running out of torches. Yeah, I was in the caves for quite a while, honestly. I made a back door once I found my way up to my little place here. It's going to be nice to have an emergency exit just in case I get overrun. I don't know. I need to make a good decision here, though. I need crops, and for crops to grow at their fastest, I probably need sunlight, and that is going to make that someone lives here pretty obvious if someone from the Illuminati or whoever flies overhead. But you know what? I got to eat. So I went ahead and I planted a bunch of crops right up on the roof of my building. I think it should be safe from monsters, but again, I'm kind of revealing my location. I really, really hope that this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. I had to make another machine called a metallurgic infuser so I could make a new charge pad. Would have been probably great if I had just brought that with me, but oh well. The next crew will appreciate that I left it. My phaser is charged, my flux bore is charged, and I am ready to go check out this place that I'm stuck in. Let's go see the sights.
Percy! There you are! We've been searching for you. Thank goodness you made it back alive. Where are you?
Didn't you receive my emergency beacon?
No. I can only assume you landed in Illuminati territory. They must be blocking it. Are you safe?
Yeah, kind of. There's no intelligent life here. It's all monsters and worse.
Can you send your location through the space station?
Not with this setup. I just got my laser relay working today. I'll work on it.
I've been digging around about more information on the Illuminati, and I have some news.
Good. I could use something to take my mind off things.
Do you remember the other planets I've lived on?
Well, yes, I remember the stories you'd tell me when we'd hit the vodka a little too hard.
Well, I'm not drinking now, and I need you to believe me that every word of this is true. Look, Percy, you've already seen the Illuminati's monsters.
It's true, there are some unexplained things up here, but, Bob, portals, magic, Tovlin, the sheriff, it's a little much.
I believe Tovlin is the key to it all. It's more important than we know.
I think the supposed birthplace of my friend is very important.
There's no supposed. I wasn't born on Tovlin anyway. I crashed there as a child. But the thing I keep thinking about is why do I keep seeing the same monsters on every planet I visit?
You've seen zombies before?
It's weird. Tovlin has zombies, skeletons, and more. Muscata, the major world where I met my master, had terrible monsters, but also zombies and skeletons. Then I was banished.
Yes, by the Mage Council.
The Mage Council, yes. I was sent to a floating island orbiting a gas planet. It seemed to be the only person there, so I thought I got to name it.
Oh, sounds fair.
Anyway, I named it Izar after my wife. But, Percy, there were zombies there too, and now here on our world. Perhaps the Inquisitors have monster factories out there.
Monster factories? Oh. Why?
That is the question, isn't it? I need to think on this. We'll talk soon. Be safe, my friend. We'll come for you as soon as we can.
After finally having conversation with Bob and NASA, I realized that I'm going to be here for a while. So I needed to secure the area around my base and make sure that, well, I'm as safe as I can be. So I spent the last 2 days really clearing everything. I did find some treasures and some useful things, but for the most part, I wasn't worried about that as much as I was worried about killing all the robots around me. And it was kind of fun. Look, it was scary for sure, but I mean, I got to shoot robots with a phaser. Like, that's fun. So yeah, it was good, and I lived through it, and that's what's important. Yeah, I was still happy to get home, and I slept well. I slept well that night. Another thing I need a good bit of is meteor ore, and I do keep seeing them around. This area must be pelted by meteors pretty frequently. So I took my diamond pickaxe, and I spent a good deal of time sort of wandering around the courtyard outside these buildings looking for meteors. It's actually kind of safe during the day. I haven't seen any robots come out. Maybe they don't work as well in the daylight or whatever. So it was a nice day for a walk. Well, it didn't take long before things got crazy again. I was adventuring and I wandered into a new building that I hadn't seen yet. And yeah, sure enough, Robot Palooza. Well, if the Inquisitors didn't know I was here, they sure do now. I was taking out robots and now mutant scientists left and right. Even got them fighting. So I thought, hey, you know what they're fighting? Let's get the heck out of here. Oh, good, spiders. Yeah, it was really a war zone. I was really happy to make it home alive. I spent the day today working on some infrastructure in the safety of my base after a lot of adventuring this week. Yeah, being secure is a nice thought right now. So I wanted to wire up my bonsai farms and try to use item ducts and servos to move all of the oak to where I need it to be. It's going to be a little clunky. It's not going to look very great. But look, I'm not living here forever. This does make me think of a couple things, though. You know, it makes me imagine, what if I were living in a bunker underground? Like, what if I had to live here forever? What would I do? I would probably dig down underground and make a bunker of some sort. It's an interesting thought experiment and something I've been spending a lot of time sort of rolling around the back of my mind. It took me longer than I expected to get there, but I finally did it. Completely, fully automatic renewable power. This is great. It's not a lot of power. It's only 75 RF per tick, but this is going to serve me well for a while, and I can always add in a second generator if I want to. I think I have plenty of wood for it. Yeah, it's good. It's a good day of progress. I made a telescope today and wired it up to the roof. Well, then I figured out that it doesn't actually need wire for RF. It actually uses batteries. So, nice job reading, Percy. After I made the battery, I actually made 3 of them, I just charged them with RF, loaded it into the moon research papers into the telescope, and yeah, like nothing happened. I don't understand it. I don't know what it was supposed to do, but yeah, just nothing. Just a whole bunch of resources for nothing. I want to make something called a dust generator. It's going to be awesome, and it will be really the answer to any possible precious materials issues that I have. But to get it, I have to find an ice plains. So I charged up my tools, grabbed my potatoes, and headed out. I don't know the geography of this area at all, so yeah, I just kind of guessed north and east and started walking. Two solid days of walking, a whole bunch of enemies killed, and a whole bunch of animals killed as well for some meat. And I finally found an ice plains. It's pretty good. Now let's just see if I can find the ore. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And this is what happened. Yeah, my drill will not actually break it. It's a harvest level 4 apparently, and my drill and diamond pickaxe are not. So, there's literally nothing I can do. I sat here and I thought about it for a really long time, and in the end I just turned around and walked home. So all that for nothing. That's great. That's really great. I may need to get out of here. I'm not planning to get out of here, but I need to have the ability to just in case. If the Illuminati or Inquisitors or whoever come after me here, I need to have an escape plan. If it gets too hot in here, I can jump my rocket, blast off, and then decide where I'm going at that point. Life on the space station wasn't exactly great, but it was sustainable. Here, maybe not so much. It seems like I'm totally surrounded by terrible monsters, and if I get surrounded or my doors are breached, I'm going to want to have a rocket fueled and ready to go. So I need to get into rocket fuel production, I guess. I was just thinking about little Bob at home. If something were to happen to him, I don't know. When I get home, we're going to start digging a bunker, maybe under our house. Yeah, I think that'd be good. I could even stick maybe a hatch right in the corner of the living room by the window. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good. I learned something potentially valuable today. I can use the magma crucible on coal to make rocket fuel. The mildly infuriating part is it doesn't work on charcoal, but I believe a crucible will. So here's the thing. Do I go mining like crazy for coal, or do I just make a series of crucibles to make renewable rocket fuel? Look, I tried mining for a whole bunch of the day and got literally 0 coal. I know it exists in this world underground, but yeah, I struck out. So, all right, well, question asked, question answered. We're going renewable charcoal. The long-awaited automated rocket fuel process has begun. I made and hooked up 5 crucibles to my lava generator at first and quickly realized that I have tons and tons of lava down in the basement mine, so really unnecessary. I broke all that and instead ran an item duct from the excess charcoal storage drawer into the crucibles. This should be a supercharged process, really, having 5 of these cooking at all times. If I need to get out of here fast, I could be ready in just a couple days. All right then, the first stage is all set up. Charcoal is going to an electric compressor, and that is outputting to a storage drawer, and that is going to output into the crucibles. The next stage is a bit trickier, but I think I can work it out. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Tonight, after I'm done working for a bit, I'm going to grab some of my paper and start putting down some of my thoughts I have on the bunker. Maybe the best thing would be try to make sort of a How to Survive the Apocalypse guidebook. Should be a fun project. I might even base it on the book that NASA gave me for this mission. My brilliant system here may not be quite so brilliant. It's actually not working. I'm not sure why. Some of these machines only output in certain sides and only input in certain sides and only take power in certain sides. It's very annoying. Well, so I figured out the electric compactor can only output from the bottom. And so once I did that and put a servo on the bottom with an item duct, it actually worked pretty quickly. So that should just feed directly into the storage drawer and we should be all set up. When it's working, this compactor is super annoying. It is so loud clanging, so I did make this thing called a sound muffler and just put it right beside it. It's basically going to hear all those sounds and just muffle them from my ears so I will never hear them again. Hooray. I had a small hiccup today. I would like to use fluid ducts to move my liquid charcoal from the crucibles to my 2 brand new fractioning stills, but I believe regular fluid ducts might break if the contacts are too hot, and I assume that liquid coal is probably too hot. So I might need reinforced flux ducts or fluid ducts, and that requires Invar, and to get that, I think I can only get it from Jupiter. What? Oh, come on. Really? Jupiter? Hey, Bob. How's it going?
It's not great, honestly.
What's going on?
We believe the Illuminati knows that you're there.
What? How?
It was probably a matter of time. Too many people here at NASA know we're doing it, and it just took one overheard conversation or intercepted email.
Wait, Bob, do they know it's me specifically here?
We're not sure. We're sending a security team to your house now. Your son will have 24-hour protection.
I need to get out of here.
I got your location, but we're still working on the extraction plan. It's complicated.
Okay, I understand, but Bob, it's getting intense here. Hurry.
I will. I promise. Be safe.
Bob's talked often about the Illuminati, or the Inquisitors, as he usually calls them whenever he has a few drinks. I never really thought too much about it. I never really believed it. They're like the boogeymen. They're not real. But, well, I'm living in a former Illuminati compound now, so maybe they're more real than I thought. But even with that, if I were the only one in danger, that'd be one thing. But the fact that they might go after my son, yeah, I need to get out of here, and I need to get out of here now. Hurry up, Bob. I spent the last 2 days working on adding a second generator. I need to get more power. I am running out of power pretty frequently. So I just need to know, is my furnace, my one single furnace, going to be able to outpace the 2 generators working all the time, and additionally give me a occasional third charcoal that I can then grind into dust and create rocket fuel? I don't know. That might be a tall task for one generator. Of course, I can make a second generator too, but yeah, I just need to sort of test it and just see how things are going. My main concern right now is probably extra rocket fuel and just the ability to get out of here and go wherever I need to go to get to safety. It's a big troubleshooting day today. Here we go again. I can't figure out if I'm good on power or not. I don't seem to be getting any additional charcoal. I'm talking about the third one after the 2 generators. My overflow charcoal, because that's what I need for the rocket fuel. I'm not getting any, and I don't see why not. Surely the electric furnace is enough to provide 2 generators, but I don't know. No more charcoal's coming, so yeah, I just need to try to figure out and see what exactly is happening. It's very confusing. With the rest of the day, I did upgrade the furnace downstairs to a new arc furnace because I would like to continue to double my ores. Because again, if I'm going to leave, I want to take my ores and all of my ingots and things with me. I still am on the search for more asteroid ore, and I do occasionally hear explosions sort of over my head. So I went out to look for it. And man, this place is really dangerous. Can I state for the record what a fan I am not of these mutant scientists? Dude takes a million hits and just keeps on ticking. Yeah, they're not fun. After really just days of working on this, I had a bit of a success story today. I realized that I had over 2,000 millibuckets, or well, 2 buckets, of advanced rocket fuel. I poured that in my fuel loader and I am ready. If the hits the fan, I can get out of here. As I keep killing these robots, some of them are dropping android parts. Well, so maybe they're androids, actually. I made a small device called a datapad and spent the entire day learning about this. Apparently, I could, if I wanted to, convert part of my body into an android. I imagine it'd be big upgrades, but then I'd be an android, so let's just not do that, but it's interesting to read about anyway. Honestly, what would little Bob think if I came home with a bunch of android parts? Well, I guess he's 5, so he would probably think that was pretty rad, but yeah, it's not ideal. I'd like to spend the next portion of my exile here working on some solar power. Look, I'm still working on the assumption that I'm going to be saved, but if I do have to go and blast off in the solar system, having some sort of renewable power up on the roof that I can grab whenever I run into the rocket, that would be really nice, especially passive power. To progress a bit further in the solar power track, I need wool, so I actually went out of my little building and sheared some of the sheep wandering nearby. I had a lot of time to think while I was out there. This whole situation here is really messed up. What are the Illuminati working on here? Could this be sort of one of the monster factories Bob's theorizing about? I don't know, what the heck would they spend resources on a place like this for? As an experiment gone wrong, mobs breaking loose and killing all the scientists, okay, yeah, I get that. I've seen a lot of movies, but the bigger question is, why are they doing this? I don't know if there's answers here or not, but I do need to get answers for this. Acid rain hit today. That's a lovely thing. I actually need more wool, but I can't go out in the acid rain. How can these sheep just hang out in there when it burns the crap out of my skin? The hell, man? Anyway, since I was stuck indoors, I did make a pulverizer and began working more on the solar array. I think I have everything I need to craft these. The only real kind of pain is solar dust, and that's just a bunch of basically pulverized ingots broken down. It's not a big deal, it's just time consuming. I'm freshly annoyed at not being able to harvest the ice from a few weeks ago. If I could have my automatic dust maker running 24/7, just filter that straight into an auto sieve. I need to remember this for my first bunker book. I think sieving is everything, and learning automation will be the #1 way to succeed living underground during the apocalypse. You're not going to be able to go surface side to get stuff, especially if this acid rain is anything like what we might see during the apocalypse. So everything needs to come from down below. Sieving just makes too much sense. Pulverizing. It's so slow. Invar again is the bane of my existence. I can't upgrade my pulverizer or anything else basically, so I guess I'll just sit here and wait. Freaking Invar. The only place you can get it is what? Saturn or Jupiter? Either way, it's far out of my reach. I tried to call today. It's normally takes 20 days to charge up the laser relay, but I thought maybe I could get it through, and yeah, I couldn't. It just rang and rang and rang and no answer. I don't think that's a good sign. Who knows? Maybe they're on their way, and that's why there's no one there at NASA. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know why no one's answering, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty isolated here. When it's quiet here, like it has been these last couple days, it's when I get lost in my own head. You know, when I was up in space, I didn't expect to come down to fanfare. I was doing a secret mission after all, but I did expect to come back and be in some way recognized for the good deed that I did. Instead of that, I came down and I'm behind enemy lines. They don't know I'm here, apparently, but no one can come get me either. Yeah, it's just not a good scene. I'm getting kind of dark on the whole situation. I'm very nervous. I'm worried about my son. Looking at this rocket, it's kind of all I can do to not just get in it and blast off. I did hook up my 2 solar arrays that I made for a total of 7 RF per tick. That's terrible. It's just terrible. It's so worthless. I guess you'd have to make just a whole field of these to get anything of them. I was flipping through the book and I saw a few quality of life items that I could make. I made a magnet, which I really wish I had a long time ago, especially in space. With the low gravity, items just flew everywhere. Yeah, it'd be really nice. This magnet is pretty great. For the next thing I want to build, I actually need something called an induction smelter, which basically can combine 2 metals into one and get an alloy. I was halfway through crafting it when I realized, hey, you know what I need? A freaking Invar gear. Again. So the best way to make Invar is in an induction smelter, and to make an induction smelter, I need an Invar gear. Yeah. Oh, man. Such a drag. You know that thing whenever you're about to leave the kitchen and you keep going back to make sure you turn the oven off? Yeah, that's kind of like me right now with this rocket fuel. I just keep kind of clicking on it and making sure that the rocket is completely filled up. Yeah. Yeah, it's very tempting to take a test flight, honestly, but I can't. I need to be here when they come to rescue me. Hey, you know what else I need? I need a freaking melee weapon. It's crazy that I'm out here with just a phaser as my only weapon. Yeah, the phaser is really cool, but it runs out of batteries pretty quickly, and if I don't have my flux capacitor set to charge, or if it's out of batteries, I am dead. So I need to make one. I found a recipe for something called a flux sword. I think it's going to use RF to maybe deal extra damage. That's really, really cool. So it's a little bit of a complicated craft. I use fluid transposer to put diamonds in and add redstone to them and a few other things, but I think I have everything I need for it. I don't know why I'm putting this in my log because I am really, really embarrassed to admit this. You know, all those times I've complained about Invar and how I can't make Invar. I can't make Invar. Oh no, I can't make Invar. I could totally make Invar. I could totally. It's 2 iron and 1 tin and pulverized into dust. And if you pulverize in dust, then yeah, you get Invar dust. So turns out I could have made it all along, and all that whining and complaining that I've been doing is just because I can't read the recipe book. So. And with my newly found Invar recipe, I now can make my flux sword. It's super cool. It takes a charge off my charge pad, and yeah, it should deal a lot of damage. This is going to be really, really helpful for taking on like multiple robots whenever they come after me. So yeah, great job. Well, after 98 days since I blasted off Earth for the first time, I am about to make my first enchanting table. It's so ridiculous, I can't even believe it. But yeah, I want to enchant my new sword, and since I'm going to do it, I may as well go ahead and enchant my flux bore and maybe some of my spacesuit as well. Either way, it's going to be a solid life improvement here and keep me a little bit safer until NASA can come rescue me. Cool.
Percy, tomorrow, drop everything as soon as the sun comes up. Head to the south. There will be a plane fueled up and waiting for you.
What, a plane? I can't fly a plane.
It's on autopilot, but the main problem is the shortest path home will be over a long stretch of Inquisitor-held ocean.
I don't care if it's flying over fire and brimstone. I just want to get out of here.
What I'm saying is we don't know what's there. It's completely dark to our satellites.
Okay, that's fine. Just get me on the plane.
Tomorrow morning, when the sun comes up, drop everything and run. Go quickly. The Inquisitors know you're there, and they're sending in a team.
I understand. I'll leave first thing in the morning. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Percy. I hope to see you soon.
I can hardly believe it. I didn't sleep at all last night. I just laid there and waited for the sun to peek over the mountains. It's finally time. I'm going home. I'm getting out of here. This long mission, this critical mission, is finally over. I'm going to go home. I'm going to see my boy, and I'm going to give him the biggest hug in the world. Now I just need to get to the plane. Well, how about that? Make sure to stick around for the post-credit scenes coming right up after this. Special thank you to my patrons and YouTube members. Supporters get exclusive world downloads, first 20 days preview videos, and much, much more. If you're interested in joining some very, very cool people supporting me, please check out the links down below. And thank you to my guest stars, who so generously lent me their considerable voice talents. Caluss as the AI, AndyDaze as a reporter on the Skype call, the great MythicalSausage. How about that dude? For real, MythicalSausage. He's amazing. And finally, our Secretary of Defense, Klautos. Hey, if you like building and you want to see some really, really amazing medieval builds, make sure to check out Klautos' channel. His single-player creative series, Fantasia, is one epic world. I can't wait to see it in person. Truly, it's extraordinary. Next up for me is going to be finishing out Season 1 of the Bedrock single-player survival world, and then after that I have a brand new series that I know you're going to love. It'll be set in Bob's planet of Tovlin, and really flesh out the lore of the Inquisitors. If you want to see where the overall storyline is going next, that is the thing to check out. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I love you all, and I will see you all next time.
Percy, I had to include this as an encrypted message. I've been doing some digging about the zombie paradox. How could so many different worlds have zombies, or for that matter, the same cows, chickens, people, trees, etc.? It's a confounding problem, but I may have discovered a solution. All jokes aside, my friend, your mind is great. If anyone can see a hole in my hypothesis, it is you. I believe everything started with the sheriff. According to my mother, there was no life in the galaxy except for our original Earth. Then, after the singularity, life seems to have exploded all around us. Not in a slow, gradual way, but suddenly, overnight. Rewriting barren rocky planets with plants, animals, and even people. There was nothing before, and then it was teeming with life. I could only think of one solution. The axe on the sheriff that created the singularity was, maybe, no accident indeed. I believe the Illuminati caused it. Understanding it would send us spiraling backwards in time. The furthest a crew member of the sheriff was pushed back was almost 10,000 years ago, but the longest one stayed in the singularity, the further back in time you would go. I suspect there might be one escape pod that went much further back in time. Possibly many thousands of years. It could have seeded all the planets in our galactic neighborhood with life. The Illuminati, Inquisitors, Mage Council, they all seem to be one and the same. Their goal is to control all life in the universe, keeping it locked into medieval times, possibly so people can be easily controlled. My fear now is that our planet has progressed far beyond the Middle Ages. I suspect they'll do whatever it takes to blow us back to swords and castles. Get home soon, my friend. We have some planning to do.
Alert! Alert! Missile lock detected.
What? Where? Where? Oh no. No. No, I need to get home. No, not now! What the...